Anyway, Venâncio will speak today because last Thursday, we had like the peak of the so-called third phase, where for 7 days, like Maputo was at standstill. Shops were not open, all the banks were closed, and so on.
But when you embark on such actions, you are affecting the economy of the country.
Definitely.
And when the economy of the country is struggling,
I know.
The very same people that we have mobilized to do that will be coming back and saying, where are the jobs?
It's true. Actually, even South Africa now is paying, because as you know, Maputo port is the closest port to Johannesburg and Pretoria. So like most of your goods are exported through the Maputo port. As I speak now, hundreds of trucks are on the road. They cannot move to Maputo port. So SADC is already paying the price. Of course, the economy is being affected because, like, for example, we get a lot of imported goods from South Africa, and now people cannot get it. It's true. It's affecting the economy.
Are you not scared that when people can't get food or the supplies will turn against you?
Well, but people have been suffering for the last 50 years because of the mismanagement of the Frelimo party. So that's why people, they are ready to pay this small pain, because the bigger pain has been there for the last 50 years. This country has been mismanaged since 1975 when we got our independence. So it's the people who are asking, look, we need change. And the people have demanded change. And
so what do you expect today?
Well, it's nobody to know. What I can say for sure, it's like it will be worse than it was last week. Because every phase, we had the first phase, second, third. Now, today, we will enter into the fourth phase. I think we will have more closures. We will have the impact on the economy will be even greater, and even the impact on the people, because people need to eat. That's why in my city, where I'm a mayor, we march every day. We have like 3,000 people every day going into the streets. But we did one thing, which is we start marching from 3 o'clock so that people can go to work in the morning until 2. And then at 3, those who want to join us, they can come. Those who don't want, they can go safely home. So we are trying to lead by example, that we don't need to affect the economy, because at the end, the economy will hurt our own supporters.
But it's affected.
No, it is. Definitely it is. It is, yes. I agree with you.
The Mondle is expected to speak later today. What will be his message?
I can only guess. I think that his message will be, first of all, to thank people for obeying his orders, what's happened in the third phase. Second, I think he will ask people to bear more sacrifices, because the price will be greater than the sacrifice that people are going through.
SADC is having a meeting.
Indeed, this week.
To discuss the situation in Mozambique. Have you been invited? What is your reaction?
Well, that's the biggest problem that SADC has got, because it's an intergovernmental institution. They are not prepared to listen to us. I think, and this is my plea, that they should invite somebody either from the opposition, or even if they don't want anyone from the opposition, from the Episcopal Conference, which are the bishops. Because the bishops, they are working very hard to bring the two sides together. So I hope that somebody who is not just from the government could be invited just to be listened to. And these leaders from SADC. And I've got a lot of hope on the new president of Botswana, on the president of Malawi, and on the president of Zambia. The rest, you know them. Though my good friend Nangolo Mbumba from...
Olá, meu povo. Bem-vindo a mais uma edição Resgatando Moçambique. Inscreva-se no canal para receber atualizações. Não te esqueças de curtir e partilhar nos grupos de WhatsApp para que esta informação seja abrangente para todos moçambicanos. O nosso compromisso é transmitir a tempo real notícias de última hora. Neste espaço, discutimos e analisamos as principais questões da política moçambicana, buscando soluções que beneficiem o bem-estar do povo. Com foco nos desafios e nas oportunidades do nosso país, apresentamos debates e opiniões que incentivam a participação ativa na construção de um futuro melhor. Não se esqueça de deixar seu like e fazer parte dessa discussão.
You are Minister of External Affairs, but it has been 2 weeks now. His personal assistant is not answered yet. But I just wanted to raise the issues and so that he could listen before taking a decision.
And finally,
Lomola, I hope.
Finally, the process with the courts now, how far is the process in terms of the courts?
Under the Mozambican constitution and law, the Constitutional Court has got the last say. And normally they've got 15 days. But because of the complexity of this process, the Constitutional Court asked for further 20 days, meaning that probably by the 15th of next month, that's when we are going to have the final result. But there is one good point, is that the Constitutional Court asked the National Electoral Commission to explain why are there so many differences between the elections for the Provincial Assembly, for the National Assembly, and for the President. It doesn't make sense. How come people could vote in one election and not to the other? When people go to vote, they get 3 bullets. But the difference is like on the thousands. And actually,
many people are saying we can't have a situation where Mozambique is back to the civil war.
Not at all.
Your final word, how can we ensure as a region that Mozambique doesn't become another hotspot and back to civil war?
Indeed. One, I hope South Africa can play its role in this region. President Ramaphosa needs to step up his actions. You know, that thing of President Mbeki, like so-called quiet diplomacy, that doesn't work. We need the region, SADC region, which is going to meet. As I asked last week here, that we need the region to, we've got the organ, which is now chaired by the president of Tanzania. We need that organ to make a decision. And we all know they are the SADC principles on democracy and elections. My question is very simple. Can any president of any country in SADC say truly that these elections were fair, were free? No, of course. So the Mozambican election did not meet the SADC standards, the principles on democracy. So now, what's the next step? SADC needs to act. When a country doesn't respect what it signed for, there need to be consequences. And I think that SADC will take a decision to force the Mozambican government to comply. The leader of the opposition, as of now, is President Osufu Momade from Renamo. Only from January, when the parliament, if these results are upheld, that's when a new leader of the opposition will be proclaimed. But anyway, Venâncio will speak today, because last week, last Thursday, we had like the peak of the so-called third phase, where for 7 days, like Maputo was at standstill, shops were not open, all the banks were closed, and so on.
But when you embark on such actions,